One of the most important things that people look at when they look at video quality while they're outdoors is going to be the level of stabilization that any camera happens to have, whether it's the GoPro Hero 8 or the Osmo Action or the Osmo Pocket. But when you can take a regular action camera and even up the game just a little bit more with stability, that's a big deal. Today we're going to be looking at the Hohem ISteady Pro 3. And that's coming right up. Now, this is not going to be one of those big in-depth reviews on every little spec and every little piece that comes with it. This is going to be kind of a user's video of me using this with multiple different action cameras. And at the bottom of the screen, I'm going to put what action camera that I'm using, is image stabilization on or off, and what resolution that I'm shooting in. And then I'll give you my final thoughts on the ISteady Pro 3, because I've had the ISteady Pro 2. I'll link that video right up here so that you can check it out for yourself. Or is it up there? I think it's up here. But so that you can check it out for yourself to see what the ISteady Pro 2 was like, and compare it to the ISteady Pro 3. Let's do that right now. Alright, I'm shooting with the GoPro Hero 5 Black, 4K 30 frames per second. Now the key thing is, the GoPro Hero 5 Black did not offer any type of image stabilization in 4K 30. So this will give us a good idea of the stabilization of this ISteady Pro 3 gimbal, and also if there's any motor noise. Let's move it around a little bit. Is there any motor noise being picked up? Because that was a big problem with a lot of gimbals with the GoPro Hero 5. Now on to the next camera. And now I'm using the Akaso V50 Pro, 4K 30 frames per second. Electronic image stabilization turned off, just to see how does the ISteady Pro 3 work with this camera. And is there any motor noise? Now I'm using the Campark V30, and electronic image stabilization is on, 4K 30 frames per second. And you may be thinking, well, you know, Andre, why are you having EIS on if you're using a gimbal? Because most action cameras today do offer some form of electronic image stabilization, and why not try to enhance it even more by using a 3-axis gimbal? So that's why I left EIS on. Now using the Akaso V50X, and the audio is not going to be that good out of this camera, and hopefully it hasn't gone out of sync already, the video and audio. But I left the electronic image stabilization on this just to see if it really helps make it a little bit more buttery smooth. And now shooting on the GoPro Hero 8 Black with the iSteady Pro 3 gimbal. And I do have Hyper Smooth on, not on boost, but just its normal Hyper Smooth. Like I said, could I turn off the electronic image stabilization on the GoPro Hero 8 Black and then just use the iSteady Pro? Sure, I could, but there would be a problem. You would see little jitters, little micro jitters, little wobbles, little movements. The Z-axis, you would actually see a whole lot more than what you are right now. The GoPro Hero 8 Black has unbelievable stabilization. So why take it away, use a gimbal, and get shakier footage? But if you use it with a gimbal and Hyper Smooth on, you get the best of both worlds. You get to smooth out some footage, make it buttery smooth. Yeah, this could be a good addition to the GoPro Hero 8 Black. Alright, so now I've got the Osmo Action attached to the iSteady Pro 3 gimbal with Rocksteady on, just to show you how smooth of footage that you can actually get. And the audio is pretty good from the Osmo Action right out of camera, although it's always better when you use an external audio source, and you can do that with a little quarter 20 on the side. So I'm going to stick all the footage into the computer, take a look to see how it looks with this iSteady Pro 3 gimbal, considering that the Osmo Action is the heaviest out of all the ones I've tested, and see if, for the price point. Now keep in mind, Hohem, the price point of their gimbals is relatively very inexpensive. And is it worth getting to help smooth out even better, smoother footage while you either vlog or capture some B-roll or just your epic adventures? Now, one of the things I like about Hohem is that they offer these gimbals that are very inexpensive. Now, when you think about 3-axis gimbals just a couple of years ago, they were all running in the $299 to $399 range. I know when I first got my Evo GP Pro 3-axis gimbal, that it was $399, and that was just for a action camera gimbal. And the larger DSLR gimbals or mirrorless camera gimbals, those things were running in the $800, $900 to $1,200 range. Now here we are in 2020, and the price point has come way down, but the quality still remains. So talking about Hohem, you know, they do make a very good gimbal. They made a very good name for themselves in the budget gimbal market. And another thing that I like is that you get 12 hours of battery life because it has an included 3600 milliamp hour battery that you can also charge your action camera with, which is a very nice feature. It is IPX4 splash proof rated, so you can take it out into the rain, especially if you're using a GoPro that's waterproof, so that's very helpful. Also, it's got great compatibility. So it works with the GoPro Hero 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3 DJI Osmo Action, the Instant 360 1R, the Sony RX0, Yi camera, Xiaomi Mija, SJ Cam, and obviously, as you saw earlier with the footages, with the Akaso, with the Campark. So it has a very wide range. Now, if there's anything that I would say about this gimbal, I would say be cautious when it comes to motor noise in a GoPro Hero 5, because as you saw with the GoPro Hero 5 footage, GoPro Hero 5 4K does not have image stabilization at all, so it's relying strictly on the gimbal, and there is some of those micro jitters and shakes that come up with this gimbal, but you're talking about a gimbal that is under $100, built very nicely. And with the GoPro Hero 5, this has been an ongoing problem. The GoPro Hero 5 with the microphone placement picks up motor noise unbelievably with a lot of gimbals. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now with the GoPro Hero 8, as you heard, there was no motor noise at all. And also with the Osmo Action, it worked perfectly. Well, that's it for this review of the Hohem ISteady 3 Pro gimbal. And I'll put links in the description below so that you can check it out for yourself. Also, if you have any comments, comment below because I respond to all comments. And until the next video, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.